My great-grandfather was born in 1882, the very same year that the world's first coal-fired power plant debuted in New York City. And he became a trap boy in the mines, was nearly killed in the mines when he was younger. As he grew older, he became more active in unions and with the United Mine Workers. By the time the Paint Creek, Cabin Creek strike comes around, he was evicted from his home. He was living in a tent with his wife and his kids, and his wife was pregnant with another kid. Around 8 months pregnant, actually, when he assumed control of the strike. He actually went to Charleston, and he asked the United Mine Workers to help with the situation in Cabin Creek, because the United Mine Workers hadn't organized Cabin Creek, which is where he was. And so they didn't have, they weren't sending any organizers, and he asked them, "We need help." And they refused because they were too intimidated by the mine guards and everything that was happening down there. And so he said, "Well, if you're not going to help, I'm going to take over. I'm going to take control of the strike," which he did. He brought Mother Jones to Cabin Creek. Then the strike began to take a far more militant and violent turn after that. And ultimately, he and another guy, Fred Mooney, which kind of became this 1-2 punch on Paint Creek and Cabin Creek. They're going to kind of oust the Union officials that are in charge of West Virginia and take over the Union in West Virginia and become the elected officers. And they're going to be running the Union movement in West Virginia when these other events, including the Battle of Blair Mountain, take place. But my great-grandfather was charismatic, fiery. Fred Mooney said he was all fire and dynamite. Others said that he was the embodiment of the Union spirit in West Virginia. There were things written about him all the way up through the 1930s when he started his own union. When he left the United Mine Workers right after the battle, after the treason trials were over in 1924, there were 50,000 miners in the Union in West Virginia. Within 5 years, there were less than 1,000 miners in the Union in West Virginia. From 50,000 to less than 1,000. He started his own union during the Great Depression, and 24,000 miners signed up to join his union in the first week when the UMWA had less than 1,000. So that says a little something to his credentials with the coal miners of West Virginia. Now, ultimately, that union was dissolved after the passage of the National Industrial Recovery Act and Section 7A of the NIRA, which gave unions the right to organize and bargain collectively. He dissolved his union and told the miners to go back into the UMWA, which they did. But he has a very serious legacy in the union movement and in the working class movement in West Virginia. And ultimately, because the success of the United Mine Workers depended upon their success in West Virginia, his leadership played a role in the success of the United Mine Workers as a whole.